Hey, can you get that other can in there with Andy?
Okay, for real, huh? Open. Oh, that's that.
Now, I'm gonna be recording a drop. Remind me to record the drop.
Second hour or the first?
Uh, it don't matter. We can do it in the first.
Okay.
What do you say?
Bring back the Wi-Fi. Oh, let me grab the mic.
Here you go.
Headphones. Right? Perfect timing.
You good? Don't you worry. You good? You made it. It's all good. You ready?
Yep.
You know we gonna cook. These two are me.
Okay. Right. Okay.
You've just been wounded for the first time. And certainly I can tell you that's been the case for me. For example, in my marriage relationship is that the unhealed wounds, when you think you've gone past them, because something will happen that touches that wound and you react like you're being tormented all over again for the first time. And time does not automatically heal. Time maybe scars it over, time maybe makes it less available to immediate memory, but should something happen to evoke it, it's going to show up in its full painful impact until you do some work to heal. Time by itself does not heal, not spontaneously, not automatically.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason, the one and only Zoe Williams is in the building. But somebody even more impressive has joined the conversation. I'm so excited to have her. She's a rock star. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a straight up rock star. She's in the building with me right now. One of my own mentors, one of my own heroes. Shiro, by the way. Woo, Lord, Dr. Jashana Johnson done walked in this place. Lord have mercy.
I'm here.
Hey, I had to bring in a heavy hitter to deal with tonight's topic. Now, we all know these topics are conversational, all right? They're just conversation for people to really dig in to things or aspects about relationships that they might be uncomfortable doing. So we'll do it for them.
Yep.
Right? So you're invited to the conversation. It's not just me and Jashana, but if you'd like to participate, the number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I want you to join us for a riveting discussion on complementary wounds in romantic relations. That's a thing. Our wounds complement each other? Oh, Lord, we about to get deep. The Voice of Reason with myself, moi, Zoe Williams. We go live tonight on Tavis Smiley's KBLA Talk 1580. I want you to tune in on my YouTube stream, tune in on KBLA's YouTube stream to see us live in action because we are on fire. We're going to be on fire. You can't miss this tonight. This is going to be an amazing conversation. Question. Do you ever wonder why we're attracted to our romantic companion? Is it just physical or is it more? I mean, of all the individuals in the world, what made the synergy or connection in your relationship work in the beginning? And why does that shift and become so challenging as the relationship progresses? True or false? We are drawn to those that give us the best chance of healing our past generational, childhood, and or past relationship, emotional wounds and trauma. Is this true? I don't know. We are attracting the medicine? Oh, Lord, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Have mercy on us all. Agree or disagree? I would even be so bold as to say that dynamics occur in every single relationship to some degree and is only mitigated by the couple's strengths of presence, coping mechanisms, and ability to recover. And if you know that's coming for you, then you can be prepared to use this amazing information such perspective can bring. Now, I don't know. If I know it's coming, do I still go into it? Should I still go in? If I know it's coming, should I be like, well, let me go and get this download, 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. How do you heal a wound in a relationship? For me, I'm just going to be honest. My experience is it's impossible. I have yet to see somebody actually heal from a wound. I ain't seen it.
Let's talk about it.
Oh my God, we got to talk about it. We got to talk. I have not seen it. Can you explain to me, doctor, exactly what is a complementary wound?
So let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
I teach couples therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the theories is called imago,
Mm-hmm.
meaning image.
Mm-hmm.
And we do these exercises when I'm teaching the students, but I also do this with couples in my practice,
Mm-hmm.
where they go through these series of exercises of looking at their childhood, the characteristics of their parents or caregivers, some of the repeated frustrations that they had, how they responded, and then some of the joys that they've had, childhood positive memories, and how they responded.
Mm-hmm.
When we then translate that, after they have listed all of this, they end up seeing that they have picked a partner that is very familiar to what their childhood was.
Mm.
And you asked a question about whether or not are we attracted just by physical.
Mm-hmm.
I say no. I don't even know that it's really physical that we're attracted to as much as our nervous systems
Mm-hmm.
are attracted to other people.
Keep going.
And what happens is we get with people who tend to have the same wound, but have learned how to deal with it in a different way. So if I'm talking about me and my husband, we've gotten together with the same wound. I deal with it one way, he deals with another way.
Right.
How it's complementary is I can learn from him and he can learn from me. So that's a complementary.
Well, that's what the good relationships do.
Well, that's what. Well, see,
The bad relationships go to war and then they break up.
Yeah.
So the good relationships
or never break up and just keep at war for 20 years and just be like, we've been married for 40 years, but you've been at war for 39 of them.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. So this reminds me of the great Krishnamurti, my favorite philosopher. He says, thought, right, begins, he says, the trouble begins when thought makes an image. Do you see? So for Krishnamurti, he always thought that psychological knowledge represented the past. And he was like, most people do not know how to process psychological knowledge as it pertains to the past. Using the example that you just gave, your childhood, right? Which means a great majority of people walking around, irrespective of their chronological age, are still children because of what happened or what they modeled or what they witnessed, right? So when he says, trouble begins when thought makes an image. For me, I think we also apply this image-making apparatus to our partner.
Absolutely.
Right? And so when that image is damaged or shattered in some way, there is a loss of trust, a loss of faith. You know, there's this fear. Talk to me about that.
Is there a loss of it, or was it
never there in the first? Ooh, if you don't, go ahead.
Like, I don't know that it's ever there. It just confirms what you thought. Like, I think that we do a lot of self-fulfilling prophecies. We get with people that's going to fulfill the prophecy that we already believed about ourselves and about relationships and what we are deserving of.
So instead of saying, and this is just me adding to what you're saying, instead of, I would say different. Instead of not what I thought, not instead of confirming what I thought, it's more so confirming what I've always feared.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Man. So you're telling me right now, wounds are necessary, which is why we're attracted to people with a similar wound. Wounds are like a type of curriculum.
You know that. You already know that.
No, but you're the star. I'm just here to set you.
You already know.
I'm here to set you up.
Our relationships are about finishing a developmental task.
Ooh, come on.
So what we didn't finish in childhood, right? We get with a partner that's gonna give us the same triggers. It's gonna give us the same feelings of what we felt in childhood. It's not that we're looking for it, it's what feels familiar. That's why I said familiarity will make red flags look green. So you don't even see it as a red flag because that's all you know.
But wait, we gotta talk like grown-ups. If I'm a grown-up and I understand that I am to be looking for how I show up in relationships, right? Because most people don't look for how they show up in relationships. No. They look in a straight line and they say, you are the person, how you show up, right? And you are the person that I deem the best equipped to deliver on this particular outcome I want, right? So if people shifted that perspective and said, no, I'm going to look at how I show up for the purpose of keeping this person, for the purpose of healing this relationship, for the purpose of bettering this relationship. I had a full-blown conversation with a sister in the lounge yesterday. Me and another sister were tag teaming her. She had a little something to drank. But she was venting about her father. And then her husband joined the conversation. And I was telling her, your resentment towards your father is unwarranted.
Mm.
And she was like, no, 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 I get to feel this way. I said, yes, you get to feel that way. But please understand, the way you feel about your father is making you sick. I said, God gave you Rick. And Rick gave you everything your father didn't give you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still here ruminating on what your daddy didn't give you, but God
Mhm.
still gave you what you needed in Rick. Did he not? Yes, that's true. And I learned a lot and I'm better for it. And that, I said, so why hold the torch against your father?
Because the trauma hasn't been metabolized.
Talk to me.
So a lot of times we can think our way out of trauma, but we can't.
You can't.
You cannot outthink, you can't outwork, you can't outsex, you can't outdo it, outdance. None of
What can
your
you
trauma.
outdo when it comes to trauma?
Work through it.
And
And
give,
that's it.
and how do they do it? I have a way. What is yours?
Well, one, just as a psychologist, let me be upfront and honest. Is that now we're seeing that the work that we've been doing all of this time of just talking about trauma is not healing.
Right.
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 And trauma can be healed.
Yes.
I do believe that.
Yes.
And I have experienced that for myself, but it means involving the whole body, the mind, and the spirit.
Mhm.
Right. Talk therapy has really just looked at cognitive aspects of therapy, of healing, right?
Mhm.
And it hasn't been healing. Well, what we know now is that when trauma happens, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your logic brain, the cognitive part of your brain,
Mhm.
is actually checked out and offline.
Exactly.
So if it's offline, when you get ready to go to therapy and talk about it, a lot of the things is I don't know, right?
Right.
And you don't know, and you can't make sense
Right.
out of it because the cognitive brain wasn't there.
Right.
But when you begin to metabolize it and process it through the body, I've been doing somatic work with clients,
With the body.
and
Mhm.
they have memories and sensations they don't even know that they even had before.
Ooh, Lord.
Right? And so
Mhm.
until you can process it through the body, you're going to continue to be triggered. You're going to continue to hold on to the anger, right? One, it keeps you protected, because if I'm mad at my dad, then I don't have to acknowledge even my parts in how I have been destructive in the relationship.
And then the flip side of it was she was talking about how sorry she was for putting her husband through
Yeah.
so much because of the unresolved issues
Yeah.
with dad.
Yeah. You'll bleed on somebody who didn't even cut you.
Come on. 1-800-920-1580. You already know your wounds are soulmates. Get in here. We want to talk about it. You and your wounds are soulmates. This is crazy. Speaking about the brain activity,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, the cognitive brain is turned off, the
Mhm.
frontal lobe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's left is the limbic system
Mhm.
and the old brain.
Yep.
Now,
The reptilian
the
brain.
reptilian brain,
Mhm.
right? So the cognitive piece, I call, it's a slower brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's slower,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not as athletic
Mm-hmm.
as the reptilian
Absolutely.
survival mode
Yes.
brain, right?
Mhm.
The older parts of the brain. So this is the part of the brain where deliberation happens,
Mhm.
where consideration
Mhm.
happens, where you think things through.
Yep.
So you're slower to act out. I say it's the response brain versus the reactive brain, right?
Mhm.
So when that is checked out, you're quicker to react.
Mhm.
You're quicker to say things you don't mean.
Yep.
So that means you give voice to your wound.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me.
Well, the thing is that most of us are functioning in reactivity, which means we are walking around not even using our higher brain. We're using the reptilian brain. And we're walking around like I don't. This whole match energy. This is about to be an unpopular opinion.
Just give it to us. Just give it to us.
This whole matching energy.
Mhm.
I don't match energy. I don't match energy because that means that I have to be more in tune with you than I am with myself.
Right.
And when people tell me that they match energy,
Mhm.
I tend to see that as a result of emotional immaturity.
Right. Right.
that they cannot hold on to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to act like you act,
Mm-hmm.
which means that you're always giving the power to someone else.
Yeah, that's like boxing.
It-
You have to lead. Don't be. They always tell the boxer, be first.
Mhm.
Be first. Punch 1st.
Mhm.
Don't let them punch first. You
Right. That's
be
the
first.
reptilian brain.
Exactly. Oh my God. We on fire tonight. When we come forward, me and Dr. Jashana Johnson are going to continue cooking about you and your wound mates.
Mhm.
She's cooking! Somebody say, already on fire. Uh-oh, I see people hitting the super chat and everything. Come on. Do us right tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sick and tired of motherfucking reindeer games. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? That came right on out. My bad. I felt like Santa. Goddamn reindeer games.
We ain't played. We ain't went on no trips, hung
Except-
out.
Somebody said except for Bud, he punches second. No, he don't. He lead too. Be first. His corner told him, be first. Somebody said Dr. J got the sky hook hitting like hitting all the smooth butter. That's right. You know how she do. Hey, listen, y'all don't sit in here and waste this opportunity. I want y'all to call in and talk to Dr. Jashana Johnson. So Attila, Nzinga, He Who Thinks, Truemonger, all of y'all. Everybody get in here. Call her right now. Katina, don't play with me tonight. This that show, y'all should be flooding the phone lines. This is the one. All week long, we've been leading up to this. He had to say hi. Positive influence. Call me.
Somebody-
Nazarene
I'm
X.
I'm taking notes.
Copious. They taking copious notes. Let me get you right here so we can see the doc. Y'all ain't got to look at me tonight. Copious notes. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Get those likes up. Come on. We only 22 minutes into the show. Let's do it. He said, mind is saying does not compute. Somatic exercise has been really relaxing. The hymn, what? The hymn openers?
Hip openers.
The hip openers. What is that?
It's a yoga practice opening because we carry our emotions there.
Oh, we cooking. Okay, let's cook then. Thank you, Truemonger. Thank you, Xylon, for the bread. We appreciate it. Y'all in here. I see y'all. Y'all gotta call in though. Y'all gotta call in. Y'all gotta stop playing. Get these phone lines cracking. Let's see. In honor of Zoe Williams and GGJCS, value for value, one love. Yes, yes, yes. Keep hitting those like buttons. Let's go.
Our wounds are primal.
They are the psychological injuries we incurred early in our lives. You can sort of think of them as broken bones that never healed right. And when pressure is put on them, they hurt. They don't work as well as we'd like them to. Core wounds can be a byproduct of early trauma, abandonment, bullying, neglect, inconsistency, invalidation, gaslighting, or abuse. They are the places in our psyche that still hurt, and that may always hurt. Core wounds can be a whole host of things like feeling not good enough, feeling not ever chosen, feeling helplessness secondary to abuse and trauma, and feeling unsafe in the world. Then there are core wounds secondary to discrimination, or not being seen or heard, or abandonment and rejection-oriented wounds, or not being noticed, or the pain of your scapegoatedness, wounds around being blamed for things that other people did. These core wounds are deep, and they get triggered by experiences in our adult lives. It can be difficult to discern core wounds from core fears, and they do often overlap, and you'll see that when you listen to the core fears video. For example, you may be interviewing for competitive jobs and not having much luck because they're competitive, and you keep getting rejection letters. Now, obviously, that doesn't feel good, but you're sliding into something in this process that looks almost, it feels more like depression. All these core wounds are getting activated around not being good enough. The chronic rejection can turn a difficult experience, getting this competitive job, into a full-blown psychological crisis. Even you would be surprised at your own disproportionate nature of your own response. You knew intellectually it was going to be difficult to get a job in this way, but the rejections literally feel like the air being sucked out of your lungs, and you're kind of mad at yourself, like, why am I feeling like that?
Turning mics off.
And that is the lesson to remember about the core wounds. They defy intellect. Our thinking brains may recognize our distortion and our strong reactions, but core wound activation is something we feel physically. I have had people talk about how they feel when their core wounds are hit, and they describe all kinds of reactions, including drowning, panic, air being pulled out of their lungs, their throat constricting, a sense of dizziness. Your body holds those core wounds, and so when they are activated, even though you can talk your way through, you can say things to yourself like, oh, come on, less than 2% of applicants are getting hired. Your body still feels awful, and because your body feels awful, your mind can easily follow. Many people will often trivialize their own core wounds. Oh, I should be past this, come on. I can't keep living in the past. I can't keep blaming my shit on my stuff from my past. This isn't about using the core wound as a cop-out. We all have them. So the best any of us can do is recognize them. Because if we don't acknowledge them, we actually can be shocked by their power and how destabilizing our responses and reactions can be in certain situations. The core wound is a central issue around why people get into narcissistic relationships and get stuck in them and find it hard to heal afterwards.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Exclusive
You caught it?
on KBLA Talk
You caught it? She did. She said shit.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network.
So
Georgia
when
police
it
say
happens
they'll release a
and you hit the
mugshot
button
of
within
former
7
President
seconds,
Trump.
we
He was
good.
charged
Yeah,
there for
all
election
right, we got it
crimes.
then.
The
Because I was like,
Democratic
get it!
District
Ah!
Attorney in Fulton County has strongly hinted Trump will be indicted soon over alleged election interference.
They're all, she
Fulton County
cussed.
Sheriff Pat Labatt promised reporters he'll provide them with a mugshot. If Trump is arrested and arraigned, it marks the first time Trump will be forced to take a mugshot in any of his.
Did you send it to Ken or
I did not send it the script.
send it to me?
You turn mine down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I know he's gonna want to see the script coupled with your audio.
Okay, so hold on. What is your...
It's Andy at Smiley, or you can send it to my Gmail, either one.
Here I am on my computer. I know nothing about my damn computer. How about that? Let's do this. Because I got to read this quick. I'm going to go out of here and go here. There we go. You said ANVY.
at SmileyAudioMedia.com.
Oh, there you are. Here you go. Script. Boom. Now you tell me when I'm ready. I'm sorry, I turned them all down because I didn't want the feedback to affect the read.
Oh, okay.
You good? All right. All right, you ready? You tell me. If you're looking for the best place, I'm sorry. If you're looking for the best prices and the fastest delivery for custom-made roller shades, LA Custom Blinds is the place. They make the process super easy. All you got to do is schedule a free estimate. They measure the windows, bring a variety of fabrics to choose from, and then they come back to install it all for free. The best part is that their factory is right here in downtown LA, so they make the shades really fast. All you got to do is go to lacustomblinds.com and schedule your free in-home estimate now. LA Custom Blinds. You sure I shouldn't do it again? I'm good? It was good? All right, cool. Then we're done. All right.
Congratulations to the dean of the medical school.
That's you, and this is me. That was good. Bada bing. Bada bing. Shout out to the sponsor. Hell yeah. Hey, everybody keep hitting the like button. Everybody keep sharing. Come on, we got to share, man, to get this thing in the algorithm on YouTube. Let's share, let's share, let's share. We only got 2 callers. Attila, you should have been called in. Katina, you should have been called in. Nzinga, where's the girl power? Y'all should have been called in. Y'all know y'all got problems. Where's JT? We all got problems. Let's talk. Brothers, call in. Gangsta teacher, call in. Arkansas is definitely in the building.
And Zinga said they taking notes.
I know they, but I know. You can take notes in the conversation now. Come on. Every time I bring company in here, my people want to act out. The Bull, Don Philly, 215. What up? Call us, call us, call us. Ghetto Gourmet. My brother, hit us with a 10 spot. We appreciate it, Ghetto Gourmet. What does it say on there as far as the super chat amount? How much is in the super chat? Can you tell? Can you see on the phone? Should say like 70 something, maybe? Oh, 85. We had $85, y'all. 35 minutes into the show. You know the show flies quickly. We're at $85. Can somebody continue this roll we're on? Let's go. 5 in a minute. Boom. Hey, tell Sean not to hang up. All right. Oh, he was talking to you for 20 minutes. Well, tell him he can't talk to me for 20 minutes. Today is my Friday. Hey. Chitlin Pimp. Oh, Chitlin Pimp hit us with $100. Woo! Everybody shout out Chitlin Pimp. Every time Chitlin Pimp come in here. Come on.
However, over time, they began to realize everyone who has been in a traumatic experience does not necessarily mean that every person will have post-traumatic stress disorder. And with the advances in research, neuroscience, looking at the biology, the physiology, the brain functioning, what is going on in the brain, and very much the nervous system in the body, they started to move away from, it's still important, but it's not the defining factor to look at an incident. You don't have to prove that something happened to you to have symptoms and experiences of trauma looping in your nervous system and activated in your brain and creating this hormonal cocktail that is producing trauma symptoms or trauma-like symptoms. So we move away from an incident, and instead we're focusing on the person's brain and nervous system and their ability to integrate and their ability to manage the flood of the overwhelm, the hormonal cocktail that gets stirred up, the intense anxiety and this feeling of being bombarded with something that I cannot manage. I cannot handle this. And if the nervous system is not able to process the intensity of that overwhelm and all of the physiological functioning that's going on in the body, the raised heart rate, the breathing, there's a whole series of things going on that are activating this fight, flight, or freeze response. And that if we are not able to integrate, both in the moment and afterwards, our body's not able to come back into equilibrium, the body...
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is on fire tonight. You didn't know that our wounds are soulmates. Our wounds are a part of the same soul tribe. They recognize each other. They like each other. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's toxic, our wounds are like, hey, boo. We on fire tonight. Joining me in tonight's discussion, none other than legendary. You know I got to big you up. Legendary Dr. Jashana Johnson is in the building.
I'm so happy to be here, though.
I'm happy you're here too. Shoot. In the realm of human connections, the concept of complementary wounds brings forth a profound inquiry into the intricate tapestry of intimate relationships. At its core, complementary wounds refer to the unique emotional imprints borne by individuals seeking solace and healing through the recognition and resonance of their counterparts' woundedness. Seeking solace and listen, the wound is the curriculum. You've heard me say this, you know, the relationship dismount. Relationship is a highly reflective classroom where the biofeedback you get from your partner is your personal curriculum.
Yep.
That is the seminal phrase in the relationship dismount. What I want to drill down on here is people's unwillingness to use this curriculum to deconstruct and reconstruct themselves in this mutual dance with their partner so that they don't have to throw somebody else away. Because I feel like breaking up with somebody is easier than doing the work. You understand? To me, people breaking up with someone is most people's preferred conflict management tool.
And
Talk to me.
And I will go a step further that even couples therapy really highlights that too. They teach people how to. I don't. But
I don't.
I don't. Let me be clear.
Just in case.
They will teach people how to compromise out of their growth.
No, we don't want to do that.
I know.
No, we don't. Listen, there's an opportunity here.
I know.
If our wounds are compatible, could our spirits be too? Could the wounds be obfuscating the view of our spirits?
Absolutely.
Can you talk to me?
So I don't tend to think communication is the problem. I don't tend to think like our problems are the problems. It's actually our growth that is the problem.
Somebody in trouble. Our growth is the We've
Yeah.
villainized our growth.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's the problem. It's actually when people begin to want to grow. Like, it's okay for one person to grow. We don't want our partner to grow. Because if our partner begins to grow, then maybe their options change, and maybe you're not one of the options, and you'll see things different, and maybe you won't tolerate things the same way that you used to. I come from a training of differentiation, right? I was talking to a couple the other day, day before yesterday, and she happened to be a nurse, and she does these adult temper tantrums where she wants, you know, her partner to really soothe her a lot and things like that. And so when I talked to her, I said, do you know that, I said, you're a nurse, right? She said, yeah. I said, you know the concept of differentiation? And she said, yeah, kind of. And I said, what's the purpose of differentiation? The cells have to split, right? Because if the cells don't split and one cell becomes sick and then the other cells become sick, if they don't split off and reproduce in a healthier way, then our survival is slim enough, right? And so that's biology. But when you apply that to relationships, if she is angry or upset and she wants him to be angry or upset as well, he doesn't know what belongs to him and he doesn't know what belongs to her. And so what happens is when he now begins to grow and say, hey, I can't keep propping you up in this relationship. I need to work on me, and I need to do that, and I'm willing to stay in this relationship, and I'm willing to do my work, but you gotta stand on your own 2 feet. Like, that is what becomes the problem.
You're 100% correct, and I'm seeing it in so many different ways here. Sometimes people just don't have the tools to be able to support the supporter.
This is true.
Right? I'm propping you up, and I got your back. But you got to understand that the well from which I'm drawing from is not an infinite well.
The other thing, too, is that it's not just the person. The lesson is not just, I'm not going to prop you up no more. The person needs to stand on their own 2 feet. You also have to ask the question, what makes me feel like I'm responsible for propping you up? Right? So what is it about you that needs to be in a relationship that have to prop people up?
Would you speak on it, please?
And so it's not. So in the work that I do, I never teach compromise because a lot of times we're in relationships that are compromising us.
That's why I always say, yes, compromise is good for a relationship up until the point you begin to compromise yourself.
Yeah, if it's at the expense of you, then you have to ask, you know, what am I doing here?
Listen, my brother Sean is on the line. Listen, when we come forward, I'm going to get my brother Sean on here. Somebody just dropped. Who was that? Was it Nazarene? Nazarene, get back in here, man. We're going to get to everybody. You know this is a national show. We want to hear from everybody. I know you dating a wound right now. I know you're dating a wound. You can't say you're not, because I know you. You know why? Because you're a human being and we're all flawed works in progress. When we come forward, so much more to talk about.
And I think it's important for us to understand not to pathologize. I think it's important for us to understand not to pathologize that we all have wounds, right? When we pathologize it, people don't want to acknowledge it, and you can't heal what you won't reveal. So you can't, you know.
We in here cooking. Oh, I love it. Oh, jeez. Go ahead. You gotta come. You gotta come back more and more. You leave and be gone for months. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate none of it.
Well, Thursdays are always good for me because I'm just right down the street. I
Listen,
all day on
any Thursday you want to fall through, just come on. It's too good. Lord have mercy. People in here leaving emojis. They got bars. Everybody hit the like button. We 4 likes down. Everybody hit the like button. And just because Chitlin Pimp dropped $100, don't stop giving. Are we close to 200? Maybe we're $20 away from 200. Can we get to $200? Boom, $19.99 just came in. Monique's Journey. Hey, Monique, can I hear from you? Monique, can I hear from you? You hit the super chat, but would you call? I want to hear from you, Monique. I know a lot of people dating wounds right now. You think it's your soulmate. It might be. A wound could be your soulmate. Lord have mercy.
Well, you know the philosophy behind that is that don't get with your soulmate. That was what Eat, Pray, Love was all about.
Right.
Not to get with your soulmate because it's too painful.
Right. That's where the work at.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Rumi.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Rumi says
Exactly.
the light or the wound is where the light enters. The light of illumination, enlightenment. But it hurts.
Yeah.
Everybody want to have a good ass time.
Wounds hurt, not love.
How about it? But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, wounds hurt.
How about
not
it?
love, and we have to understand the difference.
How about it? Oh, this is good. This is very helpful for me, even though I'm single. It's all good. Sis, ultimatum. Get in here. Y'all not ringing the phone lines. Y'all scared as hell. Don't be scared in my chat. They be like so crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared in the chat, y'all. Everybody, I want everybody in the chat room right now. Everybody in the chat room, I want y'all to type in the phone number. We need 3 callers. It's 50 people in here. I know we got people in here that want to talk. Everybody type in. What did you say? Dr. Deshauna, don't leave. He gon' pinch us. He be yelling. Shoot, the other day I was short of breath. They was in here trying to call the damn paramedics from the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason returns with his playlist. That track is called Bad, or the group is called Bad Band. What is it? Bad what? Wait, say it again. I was gonna look it up. Bad, not good. That's the name. All one word though. Bad, not good. that's the name of that group. Very profound record. We're talking about how wounds are really the true soulmates here. This is heavy. Complementary wounds. Is this a psychological term?
Yes, it's more pop psychology.
Yes and no.
Yeah, but it's well known in imago therapy.
And people use it and understand
absolutely,
it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's work that I do with clients too. And once they understand, like this is my wound, this is how I behave because of my wound, and now this is what it's showing, like how it's showing up in my current relationship. Because they show up. If you don't heal them, they show up. You can't. Yeah.
These complementary wounds may manifest in diverse ways, shaping the dynamics of attraction and interaction between partners. They can become the unseen thread, weaving patterns of behavior, eliciting reactions or responses that echo past experiences. From a psychoanalytic perspective, these wounds may intertwine with attachment styles. Oh my God, you're an onion and your wound is wrapped in it. Lord have mercy. Influencing how our partners bond and express vulnerabilities. As we embark on this captivating exploration, we confront essential questions that guide our understanding. How can partners cultivate self-awareness to recognize their complementary wounds, unraveling the layers that intertwine with their connection? What role does empathy play in recognizing and validating each other's woundedness? Nurturing emotional intimacy and trust. People don't know how to do that. People are very spiritually immature. These are high spiritual concepts. Being able to bi-directionally pour into each other while we're both wounded healers. That's a hard thing to do. So many people prefer isolation than actually working through the process, especially if you got a good person.
But the work is hard. The
It
work
is
is
hard,
hard.
yes.
And I think it's important. I think it's important, one, to say that, like, this, we can't pathologize this, right? Like, this isn't something that should be pathologized. This is just human behavior. We experience trauma, whether it's a little t trauma or a big T trauma. We experience trauma. And trauma is not just what happened to you, it's also what didn't happen to you,
right?
That should have happened.
What was
for you,
missing?
what was missing,
Like
right?
the lady talking about her dad.
Exactly.
Right.
So when you think about that, we are in a fallen world that doesn't allow for us to come here unwounded.
Right.
So we have these wounds, and then we have to work them out, and we work them out in our relationships. And they're really highlighted in our romantic relationships. But these wounds are also being worked out in our relationships with our
Mom and
parents,
dad, yeah.
with our siblings, with
Yeah.
our coworkers.
Yeah.
If you have a wound, it's not just showing up in your romantic relationship. It's showing up on the job. It's showing up everywhere.
Right.
But it's highlighted, and we're most triggered by the ones we are romantically involved in.
This is why I should also say we should not pathologize that it's hard work. We should just say it's work that must be done.
Yeah.
We should not, because I think what happens is we will hear people say, but it's hard. Marriage is hard. Yeah. You know what? It might be uncomfortable. Let's normalize being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Is that okay?
Absolutely. So when we talk about, like, when I'm helping clients grow up, because I don't save relationships.
Come on! Lord have mercy! Did y'all hear her?
I don't. I tell them that on the first day. I was like, I don't have a magic wand. I can't save your relationship.
You got to grow up.
But what I can do is help you grow up. I'm a mastermind at helping you grow up, and you can decide whether or not this is the relationship that you want to be in. But I will tell you that if you're having problems in this relationship, you're probably in the right relationship.
Ooh. I know people don't want to hear that tonight. Can you say it one more time? I know I'm yelling. I'm passionate. Please say that one more time.
If you're having problems in your relationship, you're probably in the right relationship.
No, we've been taught that it's supposed to be soft and cuddly and Netflixy and
let me know how that works for you.
And Olive Garden-y and that's what it's supposed to be, right? We supposed to go to Ruth Chris and Nobu and all. But what?
Yeah.
You telling me that if you're having problems in your relationship,
you're in the right relationship.
But I know people don't want to accept that.
Well, and that's because they think that their partner needs to change so that they don't have these issues. But when they realize that the problems in a relationship is the reflection of what in the areas in which they need to grow. So I talk about the four top things of your growth, right? Having a solid, flexible sense of self. You got to know who you are first, right? And if you don't know who you are, you're gonna put the pressure on your partner to tell you who you are. So if you have two people who come together who have a wound of not knowing who they are, then that's going to look a particular way. You either going to be needy or you're going to need to be needed.
Ooh. Keep going.
Right?
Keep going.
And
that's a mirror, by the way.
Absolutely.
Right.
So the ones who will ever tell me, the ones who tell me, I always end up with needy partners, and I'm like, and what is it about you that needs to be needed? Because the needy always hooks up with the one who needs to be needed.
So dismissive, avoidant,
Absolutely.
anxious,
Yep.
preoccupied.
Yep.
Come on.
They always get together really trying to unconsciously rectify what didn't happen before. It's a developmental task that they need to.
But see, that's the spirit, that's the consciousness, that's what Carl Jung talked about, the shadow work, all that. Listen, once that stuff starts showing up, the coward and the yellowness of our spine starts to glow, and we start to run. Because people do not want to do this work.
And I encourage people to tolerate the discomfort for growth.
Okay.
If you can sit in that discomfort to grow, you won't compromise out of it.
No, but I want to sit and watch cartoons.
Go ahead.
I want to sit and watch my favorite TV show.
Let me know how that work out.
I just need space and time away from everything, so I'm not touched by anything.
But see, and a lot of people feel like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like that. They may come to therapy and they don't want to do the work, and they may not come to therapy. But the one thing that I know for sure is that if it's not working for you, you have a lot of control for it to change. All it takes is one person. It don't take two. It's a tango. It's a dance. If I've learned a step with you, right, and I move back and you move forward, if I decide not to move back and I change the step, you either step on the toes and then we learn how to dance differently. But if I no longer do the dance that we used to do, it's going to change the dynamics of the relationship. You just have to make a commitment to your own growth.
If you want your relationship to grow, you got to learn new dance steps every few months.
Absolutely.
We can't do the same dance now.
No.
We need to learn some new dances.
Yeah, y'all still trying to learn Tamia's dance. We done moved on to a new one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to The Voice of Reason. I'm live on KBLA Talk 1580. When I tell you this show is absolutely bonkers, we're talking about how our wounds are the true soulmates. There is a concept out there called complementary wounds, and we're breaking this down. We're talking about how our nervous systems are attracted to each other. We're talking about how wounds are, and the pain of it is stored in the body. And oh man, this is very, very heavy stuff. When we come forward, the callers get to have their say. Somebody said, not Tamia's dance. That track is dummy than a mug. I'm gonna have to play that when I'm speeding up Angeles Vista. To the Cigar Lounge. Batman, to the Cigar Lounge. What y'all think about tonight's topic? You can tell me.
Thank you so much.
She cooking. I already know. Whenever Joshana is here, she comes.
A lot of my friends follow them.
She comes with a motherfucking seasoned skillet. She comes with a seasoned skillet. When I tell you, one of them big ass heavy skillets Big Mama had. Big Mama was strong as hell. She hold that skillet with one hand. Have you seen Big Mama swing? You better get out this kitchen, and then you go pick up that skillet. That skillet is 75 pounds. Man, that cast iron skillet.
Heavy. Look, me and Twin, we be on the same frequency. I said it, she wrote it. The cast iron.
All right, Katina, thank you for supporting. Get some rest. And then tap in to get hour number 2. Hour number 1 flew like crazy. Whoop. So she cooking a whole holiday meal. Yes, she is.
Like waiting till it sells. We're just having greens. I'm just making a little bit of greens.
Hey, y'all, I need everybody to hit the share button right now. Share this with your pages. Share this on Instagram. Share this on Facebook. I need y'all to encourage people to get in here right now. What up, Shy Lee? I need everybody to call in, or not call in, share the page. The content is too good. We need more people in here. Second hour. Here we go. Are they worth the wait?
You still trying to learn the Tanya dance.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Versus our authentic needs. How can we tell the difference? Well, first and foremost, this is going to be one of the most important things you ever do in your healing journey, which is the ability to recognize the difference with your conscious mind between needs that are coming from wounds versus needs that are actually your desires and the things that you want to create and bring into your life and the things that benefit you and you have a healthy, balanced, non-overly attached and addictive relationship to. And so, why does this matter? Why do we have to know the difference between these two things? Well, first, we need to know the difference because we can't really heal the needs from wounds. We can't fill those cups or feel fulfilled in them from something outside of ourselves. What we actually have to do is we have to end the pattern of re-traumatization that exists within us on autopilot at a subconscious level that we've continued to fire and wire this entire time without realizing it, and not at the fault of ourselves, but because of an old imprint that was made into us, usually from a painful experience, that we didn't have better resources or tools to either reprogram or fill the wound so that it was, we became whole again in that area that we were wounded and we were experiencing lack as a result, especially as it relates to our needs. And so if we don't heal this internally, we will keep hungering for these needs from our wounds, from the space of desperation, and usually we will have this really painful relationship in how we get these needs met from the things outside of us. So how do we notice the difference? Well, number one, you are going to feel that your needs coming from wounds instead of your authentic needs, your sort of like adult healthy needs. These needs coming from wounds are going to feel overwhelmingly strong. You're going to feel a sense of desperation when you have these needs. Maybe somebody, let's say for example, you desperately want somebody to nurture you, to tend to you, to fix you, to save you. You're going to have more charged language around these needs. You're going to do things that are not necessarily characteristic of your overall personality and behavior to try to get these needs met. Like for example, maybe you feel like you're a fairly confident person, but then you feel yourself like repeatedly calling somebody when you're triggered around a deeply unmet need that seems to be going unmet again. Okay, so notice the difference in your life between the needs from wounds, what does that feel like, and your healthy adult authentic needs. And the healthy adult authentic needs will feel...
Wow, she was cooking too. Hey, hour number 2 of the Voice of Reason live from KBLA Talk 1580. We are in the heart of Africa Town, aka Lamert Pizark. You already know what it is. The Voice of Reason is on fire. We're talking about complementary wounds. I never heard the term until the other day. Somebody was talking about it. I said, oh, I'm going to do a whole topic on that. I got to do it. So, tonight, let me ask Dr. Jashana Johnson, who's my special guest, along with my playlist. She's in here cooking. Can partners develop a stronger emotional bond through their shared experience of addressing complementary wounds? Like if they're in this reciprocal disclosing kind of environment where they're open and they're sharing and it's a safe space and they're talking about their wounds with each other, can their emotional bonds and ties grow stronger because of that sharing?
They can, but I like to take it even a step further.
Go deeper.
Because it's easy to share when it's safe, right?
If you don't push them tonight, I see you came in here for war.
like,
push them.
No, it's easy to share when it's safe, and I think that there needs to be some level of safety in a relationship, but then there's also a level of risk that you have to take.
Sharing in the moments of risk.
Yeah. But that and so that's where I say that's when I say growth becomes the problem.
In other words, Dr. My guy, I done forgot his name. Dr. Mark Goulston. He says sometimes relationships benefit from a no holds barred. He said minus violence.
Yeah, absolutely.
But a no holds barred, knockdown, drag out argument.
If your partner can tolerate the message.
Yeah.
If your partner can tolerate the message. Like, I don't teach communication skills because
Right.
I think we've been communicating
We're
for
adults.
centuries.
Right.
For centuries. So it's gonna take more than a partner not hearing you for us to lose communication. Like, that's just not possible.
But people don't want to hear you when you're
So
right.
what I help them
and so they
do-
focus on the tone and the delivery.
And that's their nervous system.
Ooh.
That's their nervous system that is responding to the tone and the delivery.
Mm.
But a lot of times we have difficulties tolerating the message. Like, communication ain't a virtue if you can't tolerate the message.
So wait a minute, stop. You're hitting too hard. Are you telling me
Okay.
that really the message hurts more than the tone and the delivery?
Absolutely.
Oh! You just don't want to hear the truth. Oh Lord, keep going, please.
And so it's important for us to understand that we have to grow past. If you try to control the outcome, you'll control the output. You won't say the things that you need to say and do the things that you need to do in the relationship. So if I'm afraid of how you're going to react, I'm not going to be known to you because I'm not going to share that part of you, that part of me to you. So yes, in the beginning of relationships, there has to be a sense of safety. But there's also comes a time where you have to be able to communicate and be able to say your truth even when your partner is not going to agree with you.
So really, it's a red flag when your partner can't take a risk for y'all.
It can be, yeah.
1-800-920-1580. I'm going to the phone lines based on what Jashana just said. Krishnamurti has a word. He says it this way: one is never afraid of the unknown. One is afraid of the known coming to an end. Everything I know, everything that made me what I am, this is how I think, this is how I get down, this is who I am. And when a partner comes in and speaks a word that goes against your known, it don't matter how they said it. That known that they're speaking hurts more than the tone and the delivery that it was delivered in. Oh, Lord, we got callers. Let's get Sean from Oakland, California. Long time no hear. Get in here.
Hey, brother. Hey, Ms. Deshauna Johnson, it's a pleasure to be with you. And brother Zoda, the voice of reason. Look, absence, it doesn't matter. I'm always with you. I'm saying right here, you guys are just on it. Expectations. If there's anything to do with a narcissist, their expectations only help themselves. Remember that, because when you're with someone, you probably don't want to be with them very long if everything that they expect has to do with helping them. They're not looking out for you. There's no teamwork involved. There's nothing. And you know what people can do? Because sometimes people are in love, really in love with someone that are a narcissist, a real narcissist that has those expectations, right? That anything you do only has to help me. What that does is actually cause a traumatic brain injury. It's very similar to PTSD and other real-time neurological deficits because they're so selfish. You know, we all need to understand this. If you're going to be in a relationship, we don't know how long it will last or anything else, but let's not break someone down. Let's not bring them down and hurt them, right? It may not work. We may not be on the same level. We may not want to be together. It may not work out, but let's lift each other up. I know that sounds really, just nice and positive, but I tell you what, if you live every day of your life positive and lifting other people up, you'll probably have a pretty damn good relationship.
All right, man. Let me just say, man, it's been a long time, brother. I don't know where you been.
Hey,
I
Sean.
love you.
But I appreciate you for jumping in here, man. Thank you, brother. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I want to talk to everybody tonight from all over the country. When we come forward, we're going to go to Los Angeles. We're going to talk to Q. We're going to go to New York City. We're going to talk to Sister Ultimatum. We got folks on the line. Let's go. Hey, Nazarene, you got to call in now. Nazarene, get in here.
That's what I think 5 love languages is.
It's a deficit.
I always said the 5 love languages.
It's a deficit.
It's something's wrong with it.
It's a wound.
It's imbalanced. You
It's
can't say this is my language.
They say that is their language because it's the wound.
It's the wound talking. Can we speak to that, please? Everybody loved that book. I be like, no, something's off. We on fire tonight.
Yeah, I think our love languages are rooted in what we didn't get.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, that's good. That is good. Please, let's get in. Let's tear that in. Nazarene said straight heat. Dominique, I look at my bank account after I buy something. I buy something, I go home later at night and be like, ooh.
I might not should have did that.
But see, if I look at it before I buy something, I ain't gonna buy it.
That's why she's saying look at it.
I'm gonna look at it afterwards.
So rejoin in 1 minute.
Huh?
Rejoin in 1 minute. Just let me know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. That's your friend.
You want me to say this?
Yeah. I just say random people are your
That's right. Yeah, from St. Louis.
Y'all know I'm crazy. Don't listen. You see, I was trying to help Miss Shay with her issues on her show. I tried.
I'll try too.
She trying to push back. Girl, you can't push back with me.
That's why I was like, I'm glad he telling you because you didn't want to listen to me. She was like, shut up.
I was on her head that day, like, what? What are you doing? And sending memes. Everybody, if you have a favorite part in this show, don't be afraid to meme it up, quote it up. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dr. J been in here taking off from the free throw line with a big ass afro. She been dunking on y'all.
You try to control the outcome.
You control the output.
The output. Ooh, Jesus.
type of relational disturbance that I think is really interesting, and we will come back to this hopefully much later in the series, is what Dan Brown and David Elliott call the core conflictual relationship themes in their textbook. And so basically what they're saying is that we have this development of the experience in our body, and we're sort of nonverbal, then we develop narrative memory to begin to make sense of what's happening to us, and a way to process and understand over time our experiences. And all of this contributes to a new form of understanding relationships. It's kind of like another layer on top of our attachment styles. And so the CCRT, the core conflictual relationship theme, is a relatively fixed and repeating pattern of a person's relational expectations and experiences based on the person's account of relationships, both past and present. So it kind of like joins with, okay, we have this like internal map that we develop, just as an infant even. And then we develop this memory and understanding and language to make sense of things or not make sense of things, but we have to find a way basically to do that. And that becomes this sort of like expectation about, oh, this is what I should expect in relationships and things like that. And so it is a more complex and diverse type of relational disturbance than the 4 types of attachment. And Dan Brown and David Elliott say this is kind of highly stable by age 5. So we have this other layer of like, okay, this is what relationships look like. Now, you can also have a secure attachment style, but then have a relational disturbance in these CCRTs. In other words, the security was basically there, but then let's say other responses or other experiences began to shape what you perceive as relationship dynamics. And so that...
Oh my God. Listen, you thought relationships was... Look, babe, go down to Rallies and get me a cheeseburger. It's more than that. It's, oh, my show coming on in 30 minutes. Come on, let's hurry up. It's more. It's complex. I don't want to scare you off. But did you hear her talk about that internal map?
Mm-hmm.
This leads to a level of confusion for the partner, because they have a map and you have a map, but they can never really directly experience your map. So now they're reliant on you to explain
What's happening?
your map, right? So, well, I expected you to do this, and you didn't do that, and you didn't show up in the way that I needed you to show up.
That's the infant that's actually talking.
Exactly. Right? So watch this. Alfred Korzybski. I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in all of it. Alfred Korzybski. He was a Polish-American philosopher and engineer. He had a very profound quote, and that is, the map is not the territory. See, a map can tell you how to get somewhere, but usually a map doesn't tell you about the topography or the terrain you have to travel over. You could be on the road following your GPS, your HEPS, or your ShePS, right? And you think you're going the right way because of what you modeled. Your attachment style is a map, right? The wound you have in you is a type of map. So here it is. The map is not the territory, though. You might be able to know where to go, but you don't know the conditions of the road. And oftentimes the conditions of the road dictate whether you're going to get there or not. Talk to me about the map.
And you know, and I call it blueprints and imprints. Like we all have blueprints, and then things that happen end up creating imprints, which is the same thing as, you know, these maps.
Imprint vulnerability. Yes.
Absolutely. So I don't think we understand our own maps.
Your map is in a circle, but you driving in a square.
Yeah, like I don't think we understand our own map. And then too, you know, when we talk about when we talk about generational stuff that also happens, sometimes we don't understand it because it doesn't necessarily belong to us. Right? And so we might have a wound that we're carrying that didn't belong to us, that was probably our grandmothers or our great grandmothers. And so, and we don't have verbal language to go with it because it didn't belong to us. But those things still kind of show up in the way in how our bodies respond to our partners' maps and their imprints and their blueprints and how they. So you got a lot of things that are happening in a relationship that we want to cognitively think like, just do this and then just do that and it'll be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
And I would also offer and posit this idea. The internal map, some of those experiences and modeling really defy languaging. Like you can't really put them into words. So,
which is why I do a lot of somatic work.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes the linguistic map that comes out your mouth is like a Xerox copy. Every time you do a Xerox copy, it degrades, right? The quality of it, it's not as clear. So you have an expectation that is a poor representation of the map, which isn't the territory, right? And you telling your partner, this is what I need from you.
And I think that's, you know, I don't push 5 love languages, but a lot of people talk about the 5 love language, and a lot of couples come in when they're sitting on my couch, they talk about their 5 love languages. But my personal, this is not science or anything like that.
Fine.
But me personally feel like the love languages are the deficits that we didn't have.
Exactly.
So if you need physical touch, perhaps that wasn't what you got.
You didn't get hugged.
Right? You didn't get that, and that's what you need, and that's what you need to feel love, or quality time, or gifts, or things like that. And a lot of times when you sit down with people and really dive into that, you hear the wounds behind those needs.
Right. Wonder why Christmas missed us.
Exactly.
So in this relationship, you will be gifted.
and so then we have these expectations that your partner is going to be responsible for undoing what you experience. And they can never meet that.
I can't be what your daddy wasn't to you.
Right.
Oh, God. It's not my responsibility.
And it's really unrealistic. It's unrealistic expectations, and they'll never be fulfilled, which means you'll never feel fulfilled in that relationship when it comes to that.
Oh my God. Phone
So
callers.
we're forever chasing.
We got to do it. Oh my God. This has been just overwhelmingly good. Let's get Sister Ultimatum from New York City in the building. New York, New York.
Hello there.
Hey.
Los Angeles.
How are you, sister?
Wholeness, balance, good vibrations, and wholeness to Dr. Krishna.
Thank you.
Well, this conversation is out of this world.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
I really need to talk with Dr. Krishna. I believe that I'm wounded, and my wounds take the form of I am confused. I used to drive and I kept getting lost. I put down the driver's license. Making decisions. I have a fantastic sense of humor. I mean, fantastic to the point where I believe I would be wealthy if I was able to market it. But I can't seem to navigate in the direction to make this happen. And my whole life has been based around having what I feel is good ideas that never come to the table. And I also design earrings and have a uniqueness with it, but I don't carry things to its conclusion. I did grow up in foster care. Now, I'm not afraid of addressing my wounds. I know that about me. I got some get up about me, like, for real. I have attempted on many occasions to seek help in the area of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently attempting to do therapy, but I really don't think it's going to pan out. I'm getting the feeling that it's not going to pan out, but I'm going to visit it. You know, I'm going to stay there until because I know that it's not about talking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That I actually physically am going to have to get in the water and learn how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Tell me about your trust in yourself.
Mm.
Okay. I believe I trust myself. I live alone, and it's all on me. I believe I trust me. I believe that's about the only one I do trust.
Mm.
By choice or by force?
By force.
Okay. So you feel like you're the only person you can depend on?
I don't see nobody else. I see my cat. I can depend on. I'm sorry.
Are you at home in a comfortable place? You're not driving?
I don't drive anymore.
Okay.
It's
Can you
California.
can you do me a favor if it feels safe for you? Can you close your eyes
Oh, yeah.
and just kind of tell me what you're feeling in your body right now?
I see spots.
You see spots?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you feel in your body? Are there any sensations you're feeling in your body?
I'm overheated.
You're overheated. Is there any emotion you would attach to that?
Hold tight.
Yeah.
Hold tight. When we come forward, we're going to continue and finish this impromptu session with Dr. Jashana Johnson and Sister Ultimatum. Where y'all gonna find content like this, huh? Huh? Well, you can find it on Saturdays with Dr. Jashana Johnson. You come on at what, 4?
At 5.
5.
On Saturdays.
Saturdays, 5 p.m. KBLA Talk 1580 with Dr. Jashana Johnson. What is it? Let's get intimate. Let's get freaky. No, her show is amazing because she brings on couples. And what I love about her show, let me tell you, first off, she be playing games and shit with them. Hey, I want you to pretend to be this puppet. You know, they be having fun. But at the same time, you get to see the humanity. See, I'm big on this. If you don't fuck with the human in me, you can't be around me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a real relationship. 2 human beings. Not 2 wounded children. 2 human beings. Right? Healthy relationships are those relationships that make space for the humanity.
And grows up the inner child.
And grows up the inner child. Now
playing with the inner
do you
child.
get what I'm saying? Stop trying to protect the inner child. Let the child grow up, damn it. So what I love about her show is these ain't perfect relationships. Them people be talking and they real. I be listening like, what the fuck? They done came on the radio. But the beauty is we still together. We working through it. Well, I can't stand the goddamn intimate quitters. I can't. It's the worst. It's like you waste the entire relational experience.
Yep.
The fuck are you here for? I'm sorry. I digress. That's Saturdays, 5 p.m. Y'all gotta check out Dr. Jashana Johnson. I'm telling you, she's on fire, 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 fire. If you love the voice of reason, you're really gonna enjoy her show as well. I believe that it is a wonderful complement to what I do. You know, because I'm gonna piss you off. I'm a push the ideas and the concepts to the very edge.
I call it turning up the heat.
That's what I do.
That's what it is. It's turning up the heat.
That's it. Then you go to Dr. Jashana. She gonna tickle you, then sock you and tickle. And that's her method. It's the sandwich effect. Nzinga said, I love her and Dr. Sunshine. Yes. Dr. Sunshine was just here. She was in here cooking. Yeah.
Oh, Nzinga.
They love you. Sock and tickle. That's exactly what it is. And the sock, you don't even, you think it's a feather. Oh, stop. Boop. Oh, shit.
Sock and tickle.
Sock and tickle.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this shit was fire. And it's almost over.
Oh, no.
This went quick.
It did.
Dr. J been chiefing it up. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna run through these calls. We got a minute and a half left. Time is undefeated. Sister Ultimatum says she love this show.
Aww.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody that hit the like button. We appreciate everybody that shared. Oh, they loving it in here. I asked everybody to put up an emoji. Let's get these emojis cracking. Put up an emoji to share how you feel. Show it to Dr. Jashana right now. 30 seconds. Yep.
been doing a lot of videos around what I call mama trauma. And it really is sort of a cluster of experiences that adult children, or at least teen to adult, children begin to understand about their parents and often their mothers, right? It's about having a parent with BPD or narcissism or some form of a PD or disorder or depression or, just some dynamic that was generally repetitive, generally chronic, typical more CPTSD, interpersonal trauma, a situation where you should have been safe, or your parents should have been there, or reliable. Perhaps you were abandoned, perhaps you were adopted, perhaps it really could go in lots of different ways. And so I'd like to expand more, even just beyond the sort of the more typical mama trauma videos I've talked about. And so I wanted to sort of kick off this video in an even more generalized way, which I'm calling papa trauma. And this really is about the different types of father wounds that we can have. Now, of course, we have evolved in our ways of thinking about two-parent households or men or women or whatever that is. But an ideal situation, I think, is that you at a minimum have two parents. This is ideal, which is not happening for most people, but for many people. But ideally you have two parents, one that helps the other, right? It provides extra resources and support. Maybe that other parent provides accountability to the parent who is, say, out of control. But in many cases, it's not that way. In many cases, even in two-parent households, one or both of the parents are left unchecked, enabled in their behavior, and it's chronic and wounding and hurtful. And so I really wanted to talk about sort of what the different ways are we might have some type of father wound, or what I'm going to call papa trauma. And then I would like to make videos, that's my plan, to make videos about each one of the topics in some way. And so we can use that as we explore further. Also, like I was going to say, I got sidetracked there, was that in the historical sense of mother and father, you had this idea that masculine and feminine energy occurred. Now, this could be in a same-sex couple or not, but that one parent or both had a nurturing quality, and one parent or both had more of that pushing independent quality for the child. And that's what the research often shows, is that dads, and maybe it's because of society's role, we could argue, in historical culture, but tend to be a little more, in a general way, the research shows, more likely to, do more physical things with kids, push them to expand their horizons, and that mother...
Dr. Kim Sage, papa trauma, if you want to look it up. Woo, Lord. See, you think because you got two parents that everything is peaches and cream? Their wounds were soulmates too. And here's the thing, like I said, I was having this conversation with the sister in the lounge with her husband and this other sister last night. After my show last night, we were having this deep conversation, and she was just putting her mother on a pedestal. And I was basically saying, you just chose the better parent for you. But that doesn't mean...
Or maybe there's a need to romanticize that.
Exactly. But I was like, that doesn't mean your mama was perfect either.
Right, and two things can be true at the same time.
Do you see? So I was, boy, I tell you. And I mean, she was using her mother as the standard to push down her dad. And I was like, yeah, he didn't do what he was supposed to do, but that does not mean you get to say, I hope he dies and go to hell.
You're right.
Right?
You're right, but there's a reason why she's doing it. Right?
Sure.
There's a reason why she's doing it, and it might be this loyalty to mom.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, the toxic nurturer is such it can be a very slippery slope.
Absolutely.
You got a mama, she's toxic, but she nurtures you.
Yeah.
It creates like a Stockholm effect.
It is.
Ooh.
It absolutely is. A lot of times when people tell me, oh, my dad wasn't there and I have daddy issues, then when I really do the work, I'm like, I think this might be mommy issues.
Might be mama too.
Because mommy was present.
Ooh, present and toxic.
Yeah.
Sister Ultimatum, get back in here and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Okay. So what I was trying to help do is kind of get you in your body to figure out what you're feeling and what your body is communicating to us. Because sometimes we try to understand it with our cognitive brain, but I want you to actually get into your body and understand the wisdom that's coming from your body. So you were telling me the sensations you are feeling in your body. Is there any tension or pain that you're feeling in your body right now?
Oh, absolutely. Overwhelming. That is my total existence. I mean, to the point where I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Okay. Where are you feeling it in your body right now?
Well, I'm in the bed resting right now because I'm, tired from the day. So I feel it in my eyes, like my eyes will generally be burning by the time I get to the bed.
Okay. So are you feeling it in your eyes right now?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you're feeling right now in your body?
No.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. When you're feeling something, right? Feeling is our sensations in our bodies. When you're feeling something and you don't know where it's coming from, allow your body to talk to you. And just kind of sit down and be still with it, closing your eyes and really focusing in on those sensations and see what picture. I always ask my clients, is there an image that comes up for you? And what meaning does that image mean for you, and what emotions? And a lot of times when you just do that kind of somatic exercise, you can get a lot of wisdom to what your body is trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
Well, absolutely. I certainly will.
She gave... Go ahead.
Yes.
No, go ahead, sister.
Yeah. Great information. Yeah. Great information.
Well, listen,
Thank you.
we appreciate you, and you have a seat at the table. Call in anytime. I want to see your name on the board. Monday.
Okay. Thank you all so much.
All right, now. All right, let's keep these callers rolling. We got to get them all in. Let's go. Q, Los Angeles, California. Get in here.
My brother, how have you been? It's been a while.
My brother, yes. Been a long time. Welcome back to the show, bro.
Yes, brother. Brother, listening to the conversation that have taken place with the doctor, there's one thing I find very disagreeable on the subject of compromising. How can one have a sustained relationship with another individual who are coming from different background without compromising? It becomes like me, myself, and I relationship, selfish relationship. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot retain any relationship if you do not compromise. It becomes selfish. There is Madagascar. They say that on the subject of relationship and love, we come together to create something beautiful out of love. So, it's what if you cannot compromise your ways and you want your way to be the only way that is allowable in the relationship, it can never work. So when the doctor says she doesn't touch the subject of compromising, it kind of surprised me that she would deny the word compromising in any relationship.
Q, I think she said exactly that, brother.
So
she made a distinction between the compromise we do to make relationships work and the compromise we might do that actually harms us, where we start to compromise ourselves, where you lose yourself in the relationship. Talk to him, Doc. I'm sorry for speaking for you.
No, I wanted to know.
Shut him down.
I don't need to shut him down. He just heard part of it.
Yes.
And so
it's a piece.
what I will continue to say is that I do not teach compromise when it is about compromising self. That's the whole thing that I said. So no, too many people get into a relationship and it becomes a buyout.
Ooh. Ooh.
And so your whole self doesn't get to show up because there's no space in the relationship for you to show up. So I don't teach that type of compromise. I ask you to show up as your whole self and your partner to show up as your whole self. We're talking about mutuality at this point. And that's a higher level than compromise. Many of us compromise and it's not working. Because we're not showing up as our whole selves in these relationships.
Okay, I think I heard that part.
So, yeah. You missed it. That's all right, Q. But we miss you, man. We miss you, brother. You got to call in more often, man. You used to call in all the time when I was brand new. But now all of a sudden, you done got used to me. You don't want to call in. Hey, Q, I expect to hear from you on Monday. You got to bring Los Angeles in the building. We appreciate you, brother. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Detroit, Michigan, and then I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia. We all over the nation. I had to call him out in here. I got to disagree with the doctor.
I was just waiting.
Boy, how you going to disagree with it? Hearing half a point. Boy, how you going to teach and you read one chapter of the textbook? What the hell?
And Zinga, I agree. EMDR is powerful. I'm actually an EMDR practitioner.
Somebody said, is that the one with the African accent?
Somebody called him
Shit, that African accent was thicker than peanut butter with peanuts in it. You heard him?
Right.
I disagree with the doctor. We do not do that here in Wakanda.
And I was just waiting. I don't need to be reactive because I'm gonna stand in what I believe.
Exactly.
I can respond to you after you get through saying what you have to say.
I'm gonna have to save me some money, Dr. J. We killing. This is great.
That's right, 10 toes down. But I think it's also important for people to understand, like, they can utilize, if they have insurance, use your insurance for your therapy sessions.
Right.
Most of our medical insurance is paid for therapy, including EMDR.
Yeah. Get it? The powers of the Black Panther have been stripped. Stripped. Salute, Diggy. 1D. I'm gonna call in the AM. What in the world? I ain't gonna be here. Fire show. I'm excited.
Absolutely. PTSD is post-traumatic slave syndrome, particularly for the Black community. And that's why we have slave plantation relationships. Someone said they call PTSD post-traumatic slave syndrome, which is Dr. Joy DeGury.
Yeah.
But that's why we still have plantation relationships.
Okay, don't make me do that shit.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, you're listening to the last 9 minutes of the VOR. The Voice of Reason has been on complete fire. And so has my playlist. And so has my, oh, Lord have mercy, Dr. Deshauna Johnson has been on complete fire tonight. We've been talking about complementary wounds. That's part of the attraction process. Man, this is crazy. Like, you're attracted to just more than the physicality of the person. You're attracted to their trauma, to their problems, to their issues, to their attachment style, nervous, all of it. Oh my God. We've been on fire. Let's get these callers in here to wrap them up. All right, Monique from Detroit, Michigan. Get in here.
Hey, Bill, how you doing? Hi, Doctor.
Hi.
I'm alive and well. How you doing?
Not too good today. You know, when we talked today would have been my dad's day for the first time. So I just been having a hard day. But I noticed that all my relationships, I compared to him, and if you didn't measure up, I left. And as you know, though, you deal with long distance relationships, so it's so easy to do that, just to leave. And now, this current one is a long distance relationship, and he's measuring up to my father. And I'm so scared because now I'm like, I can't leave. And there are a lot of dynamics, like you said, when you talk about parent roles and all of those different things, and the attachment style. And I know mine is 50-50, avoidance and anxious. And now I'm like, oh no, I don't want to leave, but I don't know what to do now because I'm like, oh well, you're measuring up to the characteristics that I put in place.
You said you don't want to leave?
No, I don't want to leave him now. And when I say he won't let, he leans in when he knows that I'm pulling away. And this time, it's a long distance relationship, but it's only 2.5 hours. You know, it's Cleveland, Detroit. We can jump on a plane, a 12-minute flight, or 2.5 hours.
Sounds like that classic anxious, preoccupied, and avoidant style. You said when you pull away, he leans in?
But we're both the same. It's like it's 50-50 for both of us in the chat. And they have me like, oh no, because I know what I do, and he's almost like the same. And we were friends 8 years before we came along.
You stay in flight mode?
Yes. And I just said something I've done recently. Last 18 months, I became visually impaired, so my whole life has changed.
What would it mean for you not to run?
I don't know.
Try not to answer so quick. Close your eyes. What would it mean for you not to run?
I would have to stay and face myself, really.
You don't feel safe with you?
No.
So it's hard to extend that to someone else?
Yeah.
Are you in your own therapy?
I stopped.
Because?
It's more of a transportation.
Okay.
And, you know,
Okay.
No, I'm just saying I had to move in with my 82-year-old mother, and she's not used to being a caretaker. I was the person in the family that did everything, literally. So now it's flipped. So I'm in the mode now where I don't need you. I don't want you to take me when I do it myself, because I always do it myself. But you know I can't do it myself now.
And distance has kept you safe or pseudo-safe?
Yeah.
Pseudo-safe.
And to give you an example, last night, remember when I called Ingo? I called him and said that, and he's a businessman, you know, with different streams of income. And one is day trading, and there's something going on that he needs to pay attention. And I said that, and he showed up today. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think you would. Because it was like he was too busy, and when I said that, I was like, why are you here?
What's the worst thing that can happen if you stay?
We would end up together, wherever I guess.
Isn't that what you want?
Yes, I guess, yes.
So you're going to have to tolerate the discomfort for growth.
But then it's like, he's like, I have to move there, and I have things here. You know, I'm a businesswoman, too. he's like, it's time for us to shut it down anyway, because I'm going to be, well, he's 61 and I'm only 3 years younger.
But you realize the issue isn't him, it's the issue of you not feeling safe in your own body and in your own mind. And you're projecting that onto him to be that for you, what you cannot be for yourself.
I understand that, and I just feel like he has those characteristics that I wanted, because that's what my father was everything to me. So no, we had this conversation.
You said he's everything you wanted?
Her father was everything to me, is what she said.
And the guy that you're seeing now,
Has those
same characteristics as your dad, and you don't want to leave?
Mm.
No.
Don't leave. You can interrupt the pattern. Or you can continue it.
I sent him back to Cleveland this evening, like, you gotta go. After I said I needed him, and he's looking at me confused, like, what? You said you needed me, I thought this was...
You keep people confused so that they can stay at arm's distance.
You know it's the truth, Monique. And Monique, stop playing with a professional, man. You know it's the truth. Oh, I see this so much. Oh my God.
I would tell the doctor, so I'm almost to the same profession as you, so I know better.
So listen, Monique, the next time she's here, you must call in again, okay? I appreciate this call. I hope she helped you. I hope. Listen, and now let me just say this. We start the conversation. It's up to y'all to finish it. Listen, this is a powerful conversation, powerful show. Really quickly, tell people where they can listen to your show, Dr. Jashana Johnson.
Right here on KBLA Talk 1580 on Saturdays from 5 to 7, and the replays on Sunday from 5 to 7. Join me at Let's Get Intimate with Dr. Jashana Johnson.
Yo, we on fire tonight. Up next, you already know, RSVP with Jill Monroe. The show continues. I'll see y'all next week with another slapper.
There you go.
Silly good. Oh my God. Silly good. Jeez. Huh? Jill Monroe. There she is. Great show, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Great show. Thank y'all. All right.